we're on.
Good evening and welcome to the Town of Buxton's Selectmen Meeting for October 2nd, 2024. Call to order at 7:03. First business is the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Approval of prior meeting minutes for September 25th, 2024.
Motion to approve.
Second, was I here on the 20th?
Yes.
Yes, second.
Yes.
All those in favor? That's 3 with 2 absent. Discussions held between 4 and 7. At 4 o'clock, we had a department head meeting. All the department heads were here. We were just talking about things going on, about what fire and police were going to do during the elections. Just general conversation about what's going on in town. At 5:09, we went into executive session, 1 MRS A 4056A personnel. We came out of that at 5:40. Our HR director was in there at that time, Hunter Cox. At 6 o'clock, Bill Hall, our treasurer, came in. Just talked about budgets, believe it or not, this early, but just trying to get, make sure everybody's on the same page. And we talked among ourselves the rest of the time. Projects and issues. Frank.
There's nothing for me this week, but I didn't make the department head meeting today. Was it brought up about restarting those quarterly meetings here on Wednesday night?
No, but Hunter,
Okay.
I thought maybe rec should be first because they're starting a new season.
Okay.
So we'll get that going. All right.
Yeah, so the Board of Selectmen has made us a decision to seek another law firm to represent the town of Buxton over the Brookfield dispute that we're kind of dealing with the assessment of the dams in our area. We will be keeping Drumson Woodson as our attorney for other municipal legalities that we have in our town, but we felt that we should hire a firm that has experience negotiating against Brookfield and is experienced in knowledge of dams. And so we reached out to Bernstein Schur, excuse me, is the law firm that we are going to be contracting to represent the town of Buxton in this legal matter specifically. And so I had the conversation with Drumson Winsome and Hunter and things of that nature, trying to get this kind of going. But that's how we've decided as a board to move forward with this particular issue with Brookfield. And so I spent some time with that this week. And so I'm sure some other stuff, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I spent some time down Public Works. They're just trying to get everything inspected and ready for the winter. Seems like everything is just about ready. Public Works has got the oil changed and the stickers on all the fire trucks all up to date. And which, was good that they were able to do that this year. And some years they haven't had the time, but this year they had the time to do it, so it saved the town money. Fire station got paved a couple weeks ago, and that got striped today. Looks good. That's pretty much it. Old business. There was some questions last week about carry forwards. The $100,000 that is carried forward from the police department is carried forward every year, and it is for buying out if we have an officer that we get from another town or city, and they've been to school or to the academy, we have to pay some of that money back that other towns have had to pay out, and vice versa. If we get somebody, or somebody leaves us and goes somewhere else, they have to pay us. So that's what that 100,000 is carried over for.
That's correct, and we had a discussion tonight to take that out of it says police salaries, and that's what it's used for, but it's underneath the ledger of police salaries, and we had a discussion that we should pull that out of that completely and just have that as a separate entity, and so we haven't made a decision on that, but that was the conversation that we had this evening, that fund would be used it is used specifically for that, but to pull it out and put it in another area so it doesn't get confusing like it did on this particular issue.
Okay, any new business?
No.
I guess I can read this for new business. Buxton Town Hall will be open Saturday for absentee ballots. The town clerk and registry of voters will be open additional hours on Saturday, October 19th, and Saturday, October 26th, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. To issue and receive absentee ballots, register voters for the November 5th general and referendum election at the Town Hall, 185 Portland Road. The polls in Buxton will open on Election Day, Tuesday, November 5th at 6 a.m. and close at 8 p.m. That's it. Executive orders. Executive order 245,
No.
sorry,
Yep.
2425-01001, in order to approve an addition carryover forward from fiscal year 2023-2024 to 2024 to 2025 in the amount of $6,060 for police supplies, training, and contract maintenance. The sum total of carry forwards for 2023 to 2024 and 24 to 25 to be $970,088.94.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? That's 3 with 2 absent. Executive Order 2425001-002, an order approving the hiring of Amy Paul to the position of full-time dispatcher at the rate of $25.22, effective September 30th, 2024.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? That's 3 with 2 absent. Executive Order 2425-001-003, an order to approve a pole permit for Central Maine Power to construct and maintain one pole on Turkey Lane being 50 feet southwest of pole P2214 on Turkey Lane in accordance with Central Maine Power.
Motion to approve.
It says P22PH.
Oh, H, I'm sorry. Pole P22H.
Motion approved.
Second.
All those in favor? That's 3 with 2 absent. Executive Order 2425-001-004, an order approving 8 hours of vacation leave for Kevin Kimball.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? That's 3 with 2 absent. Any executive orders by initiative?
Not that I'm aware of.
Accounts payable and payroll warrant. Executive Order 2425-001-005, an order approving expenditures as documented in payroll warrant 27.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? That's 3 with 2 absent, and that amount is $97,305.66. Executive Order 2425001-006, an order approving expenditures as documented in Accounts Payable Warrant 28.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? That's 3 with 2 absent, and that amount is $982,790.38.
39 cents.
39 cents. And that was for the school budget, which was $850,500 roughly, and a bond payment for Public Works Garage, which was $93,000. Next meeting of the board, the Selectmen meeting will be Wednesday, October 9th, 2024 at 7 p.m. Next planning board meeting will be held on Monday, October 14th, 2024 at 7 p.m. Any other business? Public questions and comments?
David Kessler. I appreciate the explanation tonight from the question I asked last week, and it seemed pretty simple. And I saw it was an executive order on September 11th that it was signed off on. My question is, if you knew about it, why couldn't you just explain it to me then and last week? It was pretty simple.
Anybody else?
Any-
I wasn't aware of it. It caught me by surprise last week, and
That's-
we had to look into it to figure out just exactly what it was.
And that's pretty much how I feel.
So when you came in, you explained it, and you weren't incorrect when you were saying that we were carrying forward $100,000 in salaries. And I was confused by that because we weren't carrying forward money in salaries as far as salaries goes. That line item is carried forward every year and has been for 10, 15 years. The way you asked the question kind of stumped me, because I wasn't aware of carrying money forward in salaries for salary purposes. And then when we got clarity of what that money was for, then it clicked, and it's like, okay, it's stated as salaries, but it's not really for salaries like a weekly paid salaries. It's made for exclusively that. If we poach other officers and they haven't been paid for through the, or done their time for that community, we pay for that. And if people poach officers from us, then we get paid. And so just, we do the best that we can. The way the question was asked threw me for a loop. Didn't quite understand where the salary was coming from, because it wasn't really salaries. So that's.
I'll just say that's the way it was written.
It is. It is the way that's written. That's why we had the discussion tonight to pull that out of there, because even though that is the way that it's written, it's really not what the intention of that particular money is for, and so it's confusing. So let's clear it. And as we move forward, right, we correct things as we go.
But thank you for bringing it forward, because
Yep.
we did address it. So make it easier for next time.
Good evening. My name's Craig Pendleton. I'm running for State Senate for District 31, Buxton, Old Orchard Beach, and Saco. And thank you for the opportunity to come out and say hello and introduce myself a little bit more. I spent 46 years in the commercial fishing industry, both in Portland and then down in Camp Ellis in Saco. When I finally sold out of the business, I went back to college after 30 years, which was an interesting experience. And when I got out of college, I had an opportunity to run the Biddeford-Saco Chamber of Commerce. I did that for 8.5 years, and we actually brought Waterboro into our family, and we were doing a really good job growing the chamber. Finally, I moved on to public transportation, Biddeford-Saco Old Orchard Beach Transit. We ran the bus service in town, and we ran the trolleys in Old Orchard during the summertime. I was the first director of transportation the company ever had. I oversaw all the operations. And I just recently retired, and I've been home for about a year, and I decided that I didn't want to go back to work. I was a little bit bored, and I wanted to do something worthwhile. And out of the clear blue, I had people ask me that what I considered to run for office. And I had been very involved in the politics of commercial fishing, but I had never really done anything like you do at the local level or anything like that. And so it's a new experience for me. I have been working really hard trying to get out and meet people. I've done 1,200 homes in Saco, knocking on doors. I've followed up with 700 postcards, handwritten and delivered to people that were and weren't home, just trying to let them know that I personally care about what's going on. It's been very interesting going around and meeting people. The number one thing I'm hearing around is property taxes. People are very concerned at the rate of property taxes, and we all know that home values have gone up, and the associated property taxes. A lot of towns have done a really good job lowering the mill rate, but still people are concerned. One of the things that really was concerning to me was longtime farming families who own a lot of property, and the younger generation didn't want to farm, and so they're holding on to the property and they're not sure what to do. But I met with 4 families that talked about leaving Saco, which was really disturbing. One of the things that I bring to the table, I've been following this wind energy offshore, and as an offshore commercial fisherman, I've looked at the maps and I know where those places are. It was very interesting that during my tenure, we closed 2 major areas in the Gulf of Maine, and neither one of those places were chosen as places where they could put offshore wind, which wouldn't interrupt very, very few commercial fishing operations. They picked all these other spots. And so, I make the case that I've been there. I know what the bottom looks like. I know what fish are there. And I think there's a lot of questions that need to be asked on how that all goes. The other side of that is in public transportation, we made a big deal out of, we were the first ones to get 2 electric buses for the whole state of Maine. And while that was really a feather in our cap, we really did run into a lot of problems. At the same time, when we bought our buses, we bought a Chrysler Pacifica plug-in van for our staff to travel back and forth. Within 2 months, it burned to the ground in Biddeford, so that was really concerning. We purchased the buses from one of the best reputable bus building companies in the United States, and that company went bankrupt. And so what happened, they sold the chassis off one way, they sold the batteries off another way, and they sold the parts off another way, and then our buses broke down. And so who do you call? It was a real dilemma. We ran into problems with our charging system right from the beginning. While everything was pitched to us that this was a smooth operation, some nights we couldn't charge the buses. The software company blamed the battery company, blamed the installers, who blamed CMP, and then we went round and round and round about that. The technology is getting better. We averaged 19 cents a mile when the electric buses were running, compared to 53 cents a mile when the diesel buses were running. But again, the buses weren't on the road as much as we would have liked. We have a $5 million grant to put overhead charging units at the Saco Transportation Center, which would make it so that about every second round that the buses went around, they could go onto the charger for 15 minutes and come back up to full service. That really helps for the Portland run that is longer and has more hills. But at this point, we still have not gotten them installed. And every time we go to do it, the technology changes. And of course, with the technology change, the costs go up. So those things are on my mind as I run for office. I think that, mandating electric cars and things like that are premature. And I have invited the governor, federal representatives to come down, sit down with us, identify the problems, look at, what's going on, real life, real time, yet nobody has come. And so the only other thing that I wanted to talk about is, maybe there's an opportunity to hear what's keeping you up at night so that I'm more aware. I have talked with Mark about the dam situation. That was very interesting. And again, I only know how to work together. No fishermen ever got along. And so I'm used to hearing all sides of stories. And I really want to learn a little bit more about Buxton. I do have a growing connection to the area. My daughter teaches at Bonnie Eagle in special ed. My son-in-law is the fire chief in Hollis. My son is the principal at Buxton Elementary, and his wife works at the high school as well. So they love living out in this area, and it helps me better connect with all of you. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Dave Harmon, Buxton. Just want to bring up on a sadder note, I don't know if you know Joanne Groda passed away. Longtime resident in the town of Buxton, longtime employee of the town of Buxton, various dispatch, rescue, the food cupboard, everything like that, so,
School bus driver.
school bus driver. So I just wanted to bring that up.
Thank you, David.
Yep. I have one other thing that I forgot to mention. The town of Buxton is hosting the second annual pet food drive to benefit No Bowl Empty Pet Food Pantry located in Waterboro. They help 2,200 pets a month in southern Maine. You can drop off anytime that the town hall is open from now until the end of September. And Alfred, Dayton, Standish, and Waterboro have kind of decided to make a little competition of this, and they say they can beat what the town of Buxton collects. So anybody that wants to donate, come into the town hall, and there's bins out by the front, and you can leave food, dog food, cat food, any kind of pet food, and or cash donations, and it'll all be appreciated. No executive sessions. A call for adjournment at 7:26.
So
All
moved.
those in favor?
Second.
3, with 2 absent. Have a safe and good week.